Hi, I'm Paul Bishop and I'm the Director of Teaching and Learning at the Department of Psychology here at York. So today I'm going to chat a bit about psychology at York and give a bit of detail on our degrees. The key thing we want to talk about today is the fit between you as a student and us as a department. We want you to have a clear understanding of what we can offer you. So I'm going to spend some time talking about psychology as a subject and York as a place to study it. I want to get across how we think about psychology here at York so you can decide if this is a place for you. At York, we teach psychology as a rigorous experimental science. The science of how the mind works, how things can go wrong, and the clever application of that knowledge to problems in all sectors of society. One way to highlight our approach is to talk about the type of questions we're asking in psychology. Here's a list of examples. As you can see, these are all fascinating and fundamental questions. How we answer these questions is through systematic experiments and thorough research, often using highly technical methods. Our answers to these questions have to be backed up with evidence from scientifically sound studies. Studying psychology at York, you will learn how to ask these types of questions about brain, behaviour, development and cognition. You will design exciting new experiments that use a variety of scientific methods, and you'll learn how to communicate your findings clearly and with a critical mind. You won't just be learning about science, you'll be doing science. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, that's all very well, but I'm interested in, say, clinical psychology. That's more about emotions and feelings, not research. Well, that's not the case. The need for evidence-based treatments has never been more urgent, and the NHS is crying out for clinicians who can carry out and understand research. Clinical psychologists see themselves as scientist practitioners. So if that's the direction you're headed, it's especially important you get a solid grounding in psychology as a systematic science. So that's our approach. Psychology is an experimental science. We think we're good at it, but then I would say that. What do our students think? In the National Student Survey, 93% of our students are satisfied with their degree, which places us second amongst our competitors, the Russell Group. Indeed, we have the top satisfaction ratings for 4 out of the 9 categories on the NSS compared to our competitors. These include questions relating to the quality of teaching in the course and the sense of community that students feel when they're studying with us. We put a lot of effort into our teaching, and it's great to see that students appreciate this. So the teaching is highly rated. What about the research? Psychology at York is a research powerhouse. Now, the evidence from this comes from the Research Excellence Framework, which is called the REF, which is a government-led assessment of the research that's done in all departments, in all universities and all subjects. Out of over 60 psychology departments in the UK, in terms of overall quality of our research, we're rated 4th. In terms of what they call outputs, that's research papers, articles, the actual stuff of research, we're ranked 2nd. So we are one of the top research departments in psychology in the UK. And these are the people behind these great results, our staff. There are some world-class researchers and teachers here. And importantly, they're often the same person. The great researchers in our department all teach. Everybody takes the same load of teaching, and all our academics teach and supervise undergraduates. So you'll be taught in Year 1 by Professor Liz Mains, one of the world's preeminent experts in child development. And later on you can take courses in neuroscience taught by world experts such as Tony Moreland and Tim Andrews. At York, all this happens under one roof. All the lectures, the tutorials, the seminars, the practical work, supervision and labs, all happen in our purpose-built psychology building. We even have our own large lecture theatre within the department. This isn't always the case for most departments, and we're really lucky to have everything so contained. It makes for an integrated department and helps us build a strong sense of community between the staff and students. It means you're always close to the action and take advantage of the extracurricular activities that are on the go, such as working in labs, running studies, going to advanced seminars. So if you're the kind of person who wants to really get stuck in, you can take advantage of some of these great opportunities. It also builds a sense of belonging to York psychology that we want all our students to have from day one of their degree. Now that's all about our general approach. What about our degrees? If you want to go into any professional career as a psychologist, clinical, forensic, educational for example, you need to make sure the degree is accredited by the British Psychological Society. And all the degrees I mentioned today are. BPS accreditation is a mark of quality and assurance that the course covers the key fundamentals in the required breadth and depth. What do our degrees look like? Well, we've built our degrees to allow students to develop a broad and deep understanding of psychology and then provide students with opportunities to specialise in the areas that really grab them. How do we do this? Well, the first 2 years we organise the degree into 4 content strands: brain and behaviour, perception and cognition, development and language, social personality and abnormal. These strands between them cover that fundamental knowledge base that you need in psychology and is required for a BPS accredited degree. You'll also do courses in research methods where you'll learn over the years how to do research and get training in experimental design and the statistics you need to analyse your data. But don't worry, we'll teach you all that from scratch so there's no assumed knowledge. Through studying the courses in Year 1 and 2, you can really find out what areas of psychology interest you. So in Year 3 and beyond, you can follow these interests and specialise, steering the degree in the direction that you want it to go. So in Year 3, you undertake both an original research project and a substantial literature survey. For both of these, you choose the topic and the academic member of staff who supervises you. You also picked 4 advanced courses from a long list. These are all research-driven specialist courses covering almost all the different areas of psychology. There's a lot of flexibility here to follow your interests. So say you're interested in clinical psychology in particular. You might want to go for a combination of courses such as these. If neuroscience is your bag, then these options would be for you. And for those who want to go even deeper, we offer an integrated master's course, the MSci in Psychology, a 4-year undergraduate degree leading to a master's level qualification. This degree gives you 2 years of specialisation in your 3rd and 4th year. We have 4 different pathways through this degree: forensic psychology, clinical psychology, neuroscience and neuroimaging, and developmental disorders. In the 3rd year, there are courses specific to each pathway, and in the 4th year, there are opportunities for short placements and advanced in-depth project work that are unique to these degrees. Now you can enrol either on the 3-year BSc or the 4-year MSci, and we keep transfer between these degrees open until the middle of your 2nd year. So you don't have to decide now or when you apply, and you can change your degree programme when you come here, so you can keep your options open. I mentioned clinical psychology earlier, and it's worth mentioning a great opportunity at York, which is access to fast-track clinical training. Training to be a clinical psychologist is like training to be a dentist or a medic. The road is long. The normal path is you get the best psychology degree you can, then you spend at least 1 or 2 years as an assistant shadowing an established clinical psychologist. Then you apply to a clinical doctorate, which is a 3-year higher degree. Now there's a clinical doctorate course at the University of Hull, and it's unique. It's the only clinical doctorate in the country that accepts applicants straight out their first degree. We have a unique agreement with them. Every year they accept a quota of students from York, and there are places set aside for our graduates. So if you're interested in clinical psychology, this is an opportunity worth bearing in mind. But what about the other careers our graduates go on to? About 1/3 of our graduates are committed to further study because they're pursuing a profession that requires a higher degree. Clinical psychology is a good example of that. So is research. But another 1/3 go into something in either health or education, both broad sectors. And remaining 1/3 go into a whole variety of things. One of our recent graduates went off to work for PricewaterhouseCoopers in Singapore. Another's off to work in the computer gaming industry. He learned so much about the visual system that he's going to help them with their 3D graphics. So psychology doesn't really close many doors to you. In fact, employers like the psychology graduates because they've got good analytical skills and they can communicate. And that's a rare and valuable combination. Now, competition for the course here is high. We currently have 5 applications for every place we offer. So how do you get in? Well, you take our offer seriously and demonstrate a strong background in science. The typical offer is 3 A's at A-level, including at least 1 science subject. For those purposes, we count mathematics as a science. We also count psychology as a science, but we don't require psychology. We'll teach you all the psychology you need to know. Biology, chemistry or physics will also prepare you for the course. Either way, you will need a B or 5 in maths at GCSE. We'll find that people who do not have that grounding just find it very difficult. Alright, so where do you want to go to find out more? You can contact me directly using the email on the slide or get in touch with us via the virtual channels if you're visiting us for a virtual open day. If you think psychology at York is a place for you, we're looking forward to welcoming you here in the future. Thank you.